Blessings on me. Blessings on me. Everywhere I go, they'll be everywhere.
So it is currently 10:55. I have not done my hair yet. I am actually ironing my clothes for my trip. You see, I got the iron right here. I just thought that'd be so much easier if I iron everything, put it in my suitcase, so that I don't have to worry about that while I'm there. But yeah, stay tuned. It is currently 1:09. I just finished a quick braid down on my hair. Never did a quick weave before on myself, but we're gonna get it done. All right, so I got the mold on. I gotta get this glue off, but it looks decent. This is the hair that I'm about to use, and it is currently 1:38. So it's now ready to be 3 o'clock. I have to finish curling it, put my scarf on it, take a shower, clean up real quick, and then I'm out to the airport. Just finished eating. It was really delicious. And I have some leftovers. I'm so full. I was surprised at how modern this mall was. It was very beautiful. It had a lot of different restaurants in here, and the waiters and waitresses were dressed in formal attire, giving it like a very upscale feel to it. Overall, it was like a beautiful mall. It had a lot of different varieties of stores. So I just got me some bananas, some fruit, apples, lemons, or limes. Got me some water. Hi guys. So I will be documenting my first solo trip, which is, well, first solo trip out of the country. which is Guatemala. This is day 1. I am currently in Guatemala Ciudad, and I will be documenting myself, self-reflections, experiences, things that I'm learning about myself, just to give you all, I guess, some motivation, just being transparent. Maybe someone will be able to connect with me. This is really different from me. I'm a very private person. I'm very introverted. But shout out to my daughter. She has motivated me. She has motivated me to step out of my comfort zone. She has motivated me to be consistent and to not talk about it, but be about it. Not talk about it, but be about it. So I am downstairs of where my Airbnb is. Oh, gracias. It's like a little city area, and he just came to show me where the gym was. It's right here. Treadmill, that's what I'm gonna do, some cardio. And sanitizer to wipe everything down. This is really nice. Let's get to it. So I told myself that on this trip I was going to be active. I was going to stretch every day, do a workout every day, which really helped me because Guatemala has hills everywhere, and some of the tuk-tuks don't even go to where the hills are, so there was a lot of walking. So I just made sure I stretched every day, kept my muscles activated, and this is just a part of self-care and just me prepping myself for when I do get back into the States and when I do get back into my day-to-day. This was just like kind of like a pre-start to my healthy habit lifestyle that I am trying to create for myself. So this was my last day in Guatemala City, so I decided to call my driver that I met at the airport and asked him to take me on a city tour. And I had to do so in Spanish because he spoke minimum English. That was kind of a shock when I came here. I knew it was a Spanish-speaking country, but most people don't speak English, so it really made me tighten up on my Spanish speaking skills. But this is us right here in the market. As you can see, he's holding my bags, and this is a furniture store. I remember it smelled amazing in here, and like the items that they had in here were like very high quality. And I remember saying "Wale bueno" when I walked in, and I remember the clerk smiling at me, which means it smells good in here. This is for dog treats. The vending machine for dog treats. Finally, after about 3.5 hours, I've arrived in Panajachel, Lake Atitlan. My shuttle will not take me all the way to my Airbnb, so I had to take a tuk-tuk because my Airbnb is kind of ducked off and tucked in the mountains, which was no problem because this is my first time riding a tuk-tuk, and it kind of got me jumped into the Guatemala way right away, which I was excited about. And you guys are about to see my Airbnb. It is like that. This was my favorite place that I stayed in Guatemala. Like, I cannot wait to come back. It was amazing. I had to come up all these stuff. See, one suitcase is right here, and then the other suitcases are right there. Oh my God! It was a challenge for me to get these up here, but I'm in. That's the jacuzzi. Got a grill. This is the inside. And look at the view of the lake. The kitchen. Beds. Cute sinks. Oh wow. Look at that shower. Nice little sitting area. Look at this view though. Like, wow. More steps, but my stuff ain't going up these steps. This is cardio. Oh, wow. Nice little sitting area. It's a little bed to watch the sunrise and the sunset. see what's up these steps. I don't know what this is, but it looks like this house is made in the side of a mountain. Hi guys, so this is my checkout for today. Today has been a very busy day. Today I arrived in Lake Atalan in Panajachel, to be exact. My Airbnb is beautiful. We started off this morning in Guatemala City. I had my driver to come pick me up. He had to bring me to the airport where my shuttle was coming to bring me to Panajachel. And the shuttle actually got to Antigua. We had to unload our bags and wait for the 1 p.m. shuttle. We got back on the shuttle at 1 p.m. and took a long ride to Lake Atalan. We got here about a little after 3:30. And then I had to catch a tuk-tuk to bring me to my Airbnb. Then once I got to my Airbnb, I got all settled in and I actually met my driver, Juan, as I was trying to get in the gate because like the key lock was like giving me some problems. So and he actually helped me carry my bags up and gave me his information and everything. I'm telling you, God be looking out for me. He be looking out for me because Juan actually wound up taking me into town to get some groceries. I just got a few things. I got honey, oatmeal, plantain, some oil, and he took me to the market to get some fresh fruit. I got some mango. I can't wait to see how they taste because they're like the small ones. I remember having some of them in Jamaica and they were like the best mangoes that I ever had. So I look forward to tasting those in the morning. And I got some peaches, some bananas, some grapes. And then he took me to Siente Cayudats, which is an authentic Guatemalan restaurant. And I had pollo, pepin, and chicken tacos. But those tacos was not like tacos in America. They were kind of like the taquitos in America where like it was like the tortilla. It was wrapped in a chicken. And well, the chicken was wrapped in a tortilla. And it's like they fried it. But they placed like raw cabbage and red onion on top of it with like some kind of sauce. I don't know, but it was delicious. I really could have just got that for my meal and just could have got more of those and got that for my meal, and I would have been fine. And I'm definitely going to eat those again before I leave here. Then I came back. It was so nice. I got to meet his wife and his daughter. And then we had, like, on his way picking me up from the restaurant, he saw his sister-in-law and her daughter and her baby, and he picked them up and gave them a ride. And it was just so sweet to, like, see, you know, the day in and day out of, like, the Guatemalan family, you know, the husband. We even went to go pick up his wife from work, and because it was on the way to where I was going. And, you know, sure, no problem. Like, as he asked, he was like, is it okay? I was like, absolutely. You know, so I met his family and stuff and his little girl. And it was so nice. Like, it was so nice. And I came back here. He actually set up for me a full body massage. They're actually gonna come here because where I'm staying at, it has a bed like on the roof, and like the view is amazing. And they're gonna actually come and set up and give me a massage here, which I'm so excited about that. And I booked me a ATV tour for tomorrow where I get to go like view all of the different villages in Lake Atalan, and I'm excited about that. But I booked that at 2 because tomorrow morning I plan to sleep in. I'm gonna get up and work out, eat me a healthy breakfast, and slowly get ready. Like, I'm gonna take my time getting ready. So that is my plans for tomorrow. Peace. That's a volcano.
because what we do, we take out really careful. What we'll be having if we full off and we didn't pour out the mud that's already in the mold, automatically this one will be a heavy cup or plate that's not going to be useful. That's one of the reasons we make a little more lightly to take it, carry it over backpack. If we don't do that, we're having rock in our backpack. That's one of the reasons we do it a little more light. And of course, when we're done,
Wow, look at that view. And as you can see, there are people actually working right now. They're at work. And it was such a wonderful experience to actually see the behind the scenes of all of these beautiful items, the pottery, the dishes, the glasses, and everything that they actually put a lot of time into making. And this is how a lot of Guatemalans make their money, how they feed their families. So whenever you're in Guatemala, please buy, because this is how they feed their families. And they work really hard behind the scenes to create the products that you see right here. And this was very humbling to see and very interesting to see, like, behind the scenes.
Kako means their color of their skin. And another thing, it will be Bishop. That means woman in their language. Cacao comes from chocolate.
Sí, entonces acá también tenemos el árbol de algodón que está justamente ahí atrás.
You also have the color, the tree of cotton that's
Entonces, lo que es el algodón trae lo que son sus semillas de adentro.
Usually, they have the cotton when we cut them. They have their seeds inside. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna cut this one. You can check it out. They have seeds inside of the cotton. And what we'll be doing, the first process, will be cleaning the cotton with their hands. They take the seeds from the cotton. What they do with the seeds, they replant them again to have.
So what we are seeing right here is actually the herbs and vegetables that they use to dye their textiles. You can see for one of the greens they use basil. I know they use the red onion to make the purple color. And it was just amazing to see how they use the earth to create these vibrant colors that Guatemala is known for. Good morning. So I am in a hot spring. I don't know if you can see the steam coming up. This water is really, really warm. And further in the back is muy caliente, very hot. This is water that is heated naturally from the volcanoes. This feels really nice. This is where I climbed down from. To get into the hot springs, which are right here. They're right in front of the lake. And the locals told me to come early in the morning because that's when the water is the most calm. Like once it gets later in the day, the water from the lake starts to come in the springs and makes them no longer hot anymore.
Go.
So this is a coffee tree, and these are actually the beans, and you see when they're like really red, it's time for them to be picked and harvested. So after my coffee ATV tour, I decided to maximize my day and come to this park called Antigua Borel, where they have the famous colorful slide. Just a disclaimer for anybody planning to come here, you better make sure you get your cardio up before you come, because it is hills for days in Guatemala, and we had to walk up a very steep hill to get to the top of this slide to come down. And it was very fun. It was So to maximize my day more, after coming from Antigua Borel, I decided to take a chocolate making class. And this right here is towards the end of the class, where you see me taking out the chocolate out of the mold from the chocolate that we made during the class. And right here is just a rewind kind of to me at the coffee farm with those who were on the tour with me. And those are roasted coffee seeds. So, you see, this is like sandy, rocky, and it's extremely steep, very difficult, but I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I made it after a 7-hour and 30-minute hike. I almost cried. It was the most difficult thing I ever did, but I made it. And look at this view. It was absolutely freezing up here, but look at the view. It was all worth it. Look at the awe and the goodness and the wonder of God. Just wow. Wow. So after sleeping on a mountain across from a volcano and freezing, it was time for us to come back down the mountain. It was a lot easier coming down, but it was a lot harder on my toes because my toes kept hitting the front of my shoe and I had blisters on my toes. But nonetheless, I'm all about maximizing my time. So I went, took a shower in my Airbnb, and then went to a cooking class.
That paper towels, just roll it on the right side. Just up, down, okay? Just try it. Yeah, I think so, but
Shout out to my friend Margarita right there. I met her on the volcano hike. We were kind of like each other's motivation. We kept each other going and we wound up coming to this class together. She is real cool people. If you're watching this, I hope all is blessed, Margarita.
and do a very gentle press.
Okay.
First step is done, okay? Second one is here. Right fingers and the left palm. And you made it. But you don't roll it. Yeah? Because it's here. Oh no, we did.
So this was the last Airbnb that I stayed at, which was in Antigua. I always do a checkout video, which this is just as a form of insurance for myself, just so that the host cannot say that I left their place any type of way. It was my least favorite. It looked a lot better on the pictures. I would not stay here again. It wasn't horrible. You know, it served its purpose basically for me to sleep because I was barely here, because I did spend the night on a mountain one night and then I just maximized my days the other days. So I was barely here. So it was cool. So this is literally the day that I am flying out of Guatemala. I got connected with a driver in Antigua and I had him to come and pick me up at 7 a.m. I packed up all of my things. My flight was leaving, I think, at like 1. So again, I'm all about maximizing my day. So I told him to bring me to this park. This was another thing that I wanted to do that I had saw on Instagram with like the golden hand, and they had different restaurants here. The food was really good. It was just like beautiful views, just a beautiful way to close off my Guatemalan trip.
I go, there'll be